And why is it hitting girls, and especially younger teen girls, the hardest? I wonder why that could be. I've been developing an explanation called the Great Rewiring of Childhood. And I keep asking people, whenever I write, I say, if you disagree, give me another theory. Is there a second place theory that can explain why this happens in so many countries? Because people say, oh, school shootings, Newtown was 2012, that must be why. Yeah, that's why all the numbers went up in New Zealand, right? In Canada, and the UK, and Sweden. So nobody has yet come up with another theory other than this one, which is that the play-based childhood that we've had for millions of years basically ended around 2010 and was replaced by a phone-based childhood. So let's talk about those. So, if you think back, what were your fondest memories of childhood, the most fun you ever had, okay? For how many of you was there a screen present, including a TV screen? Raise your hand if your greatest memories were watching TV or some sort of screen. Okay, not many. For how many of you were you outside with other kids? Raise your hand. Okay, that's going to be most of you. For how many of you was there some element of risk, like there was some risk in your play? Raise your hand. Okay. Okay, so this is what childhood always was, because if you give kids something to take risks on, they will do it. And we might think, oh, well, that's terrible, we should stop them. No, you should not. These are my kids. We were in Iceland, and they saw this wall, and there were some handholds, so they just called out, the wall called out to them. They just ran over and just started scrambling up. Kids need thrills. Kids literally need risk. There's a really interesting paper that came out in 2011. There's an update of it now. That we evolved childhoods in which young people are motivated to take risks so that they learn how to act in the world, they learn what the limits are, and they expand their limits. In fact, taking risks is how kids get over anxiety. As they say here, as the child's coping skills improve, these situations and stimuli may be mastered and no longer feared. Thus, fear is reduced as the child experiences a motivating, thrilling activation while learning to master age-adequate challenges. And so, if you block risk and thrills, you keep your child fragile and fearful. You prevent them from maturing. So the play-based childhood, which almost everyone in this room had, began to decline, especially in the 1990s. And there's a great book by Frank Furedi, a British sociologist, called Paranoid Parenting. And he's a sociologist, which is great, because he really brings in all these other factors. So much social change happening in the 80s and 90s. Smaller families, there are not so many kids outside anymore. Working moms, you don't have eyes on the street, as Jane Jacobs had put it. You have real sex abuse scandals, and you have fake sex abuse scandals, like the daycare sex abuse scandals. And the media loves all this, and both in the US and UK, we all get the sense that everyone out there is molesting children. And my God, I better keep my children, I better be so careful, I better not trust anyone. And when adults stop trusting each other with their kids, this is a disaster, because now you have to do everything yourself, you have to verify, you have to always be watching. You begin to put safety first, safety above everything, safety above growth, safety above emotional development, safety, safety, safety.